and I walked into the studio this evening, and usually my wife is my co-host.
Right.
And then suddenly I walk in and I see this brunette in the studio. And I'm thinking to myself, who in the world is the beautiful woman? So there she is.
There it is.
There she is.
Yep.
That's, I think, what the kids are calling it these days is old money brunette.
Yes. Well, this is my 1997's look. To go with overalls.
Yeah, but we don't have the overalls.
I didn't wear the overalls. I had to, it was like, okay, do I just go in with both? I think I just got this done. I've got to get used to it. This is my natural hair color.
Okay.
Gotta get used to it. It's been a long time.
And then what women do, so what women do is they really try to emulate the color that they want. So they'll show the hairstylist what they want. So, but nowadays, what you have is you have AI. So you can do it. So here we go. This is now, who is that? Is that, I mean,
Oh man, that was me playing with AI.
I think that it reminds me of a 1980s soap opera character or something like that.
We couldn't think of,
because that's the style now. The 80s has come back.
Yeah.
So so there it is. So everyone weigh in on Cara's new hair color.
Yeah.
And let us know.
To be honest, it's just, I figured I do this once in a while. The last time I did it was 2016. And so I was just kind of like, all right, I think it's time, go back. This is actually probably darker than it was in 2016. 2016, I felt like I had to ease in because I've been getting highlights since I was 22. So, but Karen did a great job.
And Denise Marie says hello, hello. So hello, Denise. I got a chance to see her
Denise.
today. Curtis Janey says hello, guys. Curtis says looks great. Bev Kroll says, holy cow, I didn't even recognize you. Holy cow. Now that's saying something.
Yeah.
Now that is saying something. So, over the weekend, now, our stepdaughter is a big Chiefs fan.
Mhm.
And all the talk now is, of course, we talked about it last week, Taylor Swift. And there's this big backlash. Taylor Swift, they're spending so much time. We're so sick of her, et cetera, et cetera. And then there's a backlash to the backlash of people saying, lighten up on Taylor Swift. She's supporting her boyfriend and everything like that. So, what do you think about all that?
Yeah. I just feel like it's the media. She's not asking for all that publicity for, the 60 seconds or however many minutes it's taken away from the game. But while I do think there is a little bit of, that they're doing this for a reason, obviously. Maybe they really are in love. I don't really know. But I think that it's fun. And I think it's bringing a lot of new people to the game.
$300 million, I think, in new revenue or new merchandise or something that's measurable to the Kansas City Chiefs because of Taylor Swift. So I think she's doing something right, and it is what it is. So and it's a big show. Come on.
It is.
People who think, oh, it's all about the football. No, the NFL is not all about football. It's a big show. So come on. So Deborah Cardarella says, hi, Al, love the hair. Okay, so got to vote for the hair. We probably put a trivia up there or a questionnaire on there about what people think about the hair. It was so good to see you, says Denise. I didn't even know that you were Cara. So it was a new
and
guest.
Actually, one of these nights on the show, I'll wear my hair curly. I have very curly hair, very curly, like ringlet curly, but I straighten it most times. So one night I'll do that too.
And Deborah Cardarella says, Eryca, Lish sends a hug, still at work, LA time. So Eryca Nolan is here. And so enough of Cara's hair. But Eryca, what do you think about Cara's hair?
I love it.
Okay.
But again, at the door, I drove up, I was finding a parking space and I didn't know who she was either. So I should have been forewarned. I saw somebody trying to get into the building. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was me. I was probably
Okay.
right behind you guys. Yep,
Oh,
I sped
okay.
by. Yes, I backed in. I tried to find parking and then I
Yeah.
backed out and I saw you there and I was like, I don't know who's this.
Who is this?
New hair. Who's this?
Yeah.
I like it though. I
Thank
like it. I
Yeah,
love
once
it.
in a while, I go back.
Well, the last time Eryca came to the home studio to do a
Yeah.
podcast,
Yeah.
and I remember I couldn't. What couldn't I find? I couldn't find sugar.
The sugar.
For the tea.
Yeah.
I
For
thought
the
he
tea.
was squatting. I was like, is this your house? Are we gonna get kicked out at some moment? He didn't know where anything was but the tea. No sugar, no cream. He's like, I don't know.
Now, to be fair, I just don't use sugar,
Yeah.
so that's my excuse. And and I don't bake a lot.
Yeah, I don't bake a lot either.
And
So the sugar, I do not. Okay. I will
That's
cook
okay.
all day. baking's not my,
It's it's noted. I will
So, yeah,
bring
it
my
was
own
so
sugar.
funny. I was like, I was trying. He came upstairs. He was like, "Where's the sugar?" I'm like, "I think it's near the spices. Just look near the spices."
Yeah, I think I found some confectionery sugar at some point.
So we're both squatters.
Yeah.
It's not just me. It's not just me. Nobody knows where the sugar is anywhere. So Carol mentioned Jessica says, "Hi everyone, love the shade of your new hair color, hairstyle. You look great." Renee Smith says, "Hey E." That's you.
Security, call security on her. I'm kidding. That's my girl.
And yep, and she does have curly hair too, Denise. So lots of love here tonight. And so, man, when's the last time you were on stage?
Last week.
Last week.
Last Saturday. And then the Saturday before. It doesn't seem like it. I'm not on social media as much anymore. So it seems like I'm not doing comedy as much. But the last 2 weekends I've been doing comedy. I was in Westfield and then I was at Mass Mocha the weekend before.
And does it take a while if you've been off stage for a while, do you have to get back into the flow? I mean, how does that?
Yeah, there's major trust issues with your own set. Like you read it like a stranger, even though it's your story. It really is. You have to go through your old set and what you're gonna add new, and then you observe things as well. But yeah, it takes a minute to actually get back into the groove of things.
Yeah. And what's your material like these days?
It's all the same. It's not the same material, but it's the same subjects. It's kids, it's life, it's wine. It's all the same stuff.
Wine.
Yeah, wine
Love
because
wine.
of kids. Yes. It's all the same.
Wait, we're supposed to bring some wine tonight.
Yeah. Well, typically I would have a glass of wine right now, but we haven't actually ever brought wine on the show.
Yeah,
But we may
we
need to.
Then I
Well-
need to come back. Yes.
Well,
When you have the wine, I'll be here.
we wouldn't want the city to come knocking on the door
Right, exactly.
because we're not tips trained or doing a permit. You think I'm joking, but
No,
that's
no.
there's nothing more challenging than doing that. And just getting up on stage and speaking when you're not expecting or people aren't expecting that they're going to need to laugh. When you're actually a comedian, you have a high, it's a high bar to jump over. Making people laugh is I mean, if they're in the mood, I'm sure it's helpful, but I'm sure you've also run into some rooms that are tough.
They're challenging. There's a certain setting. Like I'm not going to go in the middle of a day for like a bridal shower per se yet. I'll say I don't. It's a certain setting. I like the stand-up comedy. I like the dark room. I like the people already drinking a little and receptive. If I have to win you over, then no, I'm not as excited to go to the show. I do those shows as well, but I like the whole stand-up comedy room. Like again, Westfield was at the Nook with Joe Buddha, Mass Mocha. I opened up for Zainab Johnson. It's a whole setting. They already come. They know they're coming to laugh. What happens is people that I know are like, "Are you even funny?" Because they'll see me at the Big Y. Like I'm this person. I'm serious, and I was like, I don't tell jokes. I have stories, and everybody else would have a story too. I don't tell jokes. I'm not like a clown. Like you put in a quarter, and it's like do. But I have stories like everybody else, and I share them, and people laugh. Believe it or not.
Believe it or not. Your friends say, "So you're funny?"
I get questions like that. Like you're not funny around me. Like no, I'm not a clown. But no, I'm the same person on stage as I am off stage.
Yeah.
A little sassy, a little sarcastic. That's it.
Yeah. Well, you made it on the Today Show.
Yes, that was
That was in
fantastic.
November, and I haven't had a chance to really talk to
Yeah.
you about this. How the hell did that all happen?
I have no idea. I had sadly I'd taken the week off because my baby nephew had passed. Elijah had passed. So I'd already taken some time off for that. And producer, he was on the Wendy Williams show. All of a sudden he's on the Today Show with Hoda and Jenna. It's like, hey, I need you to come in for a set. We're doing Thanksgiving. Do you have anything? I was like, macaroni and cheese, because I'm already in my house battling.
Perfect.
I wasn't battling with my daughter, actually. I was battling with my son because he's now learned how to make it. He has this whole artisanal blend and Gouda cheese and all this. And I'm like, no, I make the mac and cheese because those are just the rules. Like, I make the mac and cheese. So then he couldn't take any time off. So my daughter came with me instead and took the abuse.
Yeah. Oh
The
gosh.
comments on there were like, listen to your mother. And she's like, really, you set me up, Mom. But we had a good time. They flew us. Well, they didn't fly us in. We drove into New Jersey. They sent us a car. We drove in,
Oh,
did the Today Show, met a couple people, and jumped in the car. I think we went to Shake Shack or something like that, and then came home.
that is
All within
awesome.
like 6 hours. It was really quick.
And the whole thing with the shtick was Thanksgiving etiquette.
Yes.
And yeah, so I mean, how did that all happen? Like, what
Well, it's really true with especially with Black families. Like, you can't come off the bench making macaroni and cheese. You have to have a whole resume, of where you've made it. Was it successful? How many were your references? Type of thing. Like, I didn't even get to start making macaroni and cheese in my family until, unfortunately, my aunt had to give it to me. My aunt passed away, and now I make the macaroni and cheese. So now my kids, they're on Instagram and looking at all these recipes, and they think you can just jump in. I'm like, no, it's like
It's hard.
decades.
It's hard. I can't make it.
Yeah.
I can't make mac and cheese.
So what is the secret to do it well?
Well, that's the funny thing about it is when I asked my aunt Irma what the secret was, she says, look on the back of the mother's box. So that was all these years, that was her recipe. It's like, oh, we have to have our Irma's
Oh
mac
my
and cheese. She
gosh.
says it's on the back of the box.
Oh wow.
So it actually
I-
wasn't that complicated.
It wasn't, but I have taken it. I have flavor profiles. I now actually season at different levels. Now there is a mix to it, but it's not
Yeah.
impossible. No, it's just a rule.
My kids would love it if I could make a good mac and cheese. They would. Their dad makes really good mac and cheese. I can't compare, but
Really,
skill.
it's a challenge in my house. I'm telling you, we have all types of cheese falling out the refrigerator. Everybody's trying to do different,
Yeah.
taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
But it's really basic. You'd be surprised how basic it is.
Well, Curtis Janey says the secret is you got to put your foot in it.
As in anything, that is true. As in anything, you got
Uh,
to. Not for real though. We're not talking about real feet, but yeah, you do. You have to go elbow deep into the seasonings, and it's fun.
and you're a big cook.
I am.
You
I am.
have
Which
a
I didn't know at
Which
all.
nobody knows as well.
Yeah.
Like, are you?
Let's
fun?
talk
Do you
about it.
cook?
the woman of many talents. And no one knows what she does.
How did you know this? We were talking about it somewhere, and someone said that you had catered something, and I was like, really?
Yeah, we launched it's called Upstreet Smoke. It's smoked meats. I don't do the smoked meats. My partner specializes in the meats. I've coined myself the culinary director because I can.
Perfect.
But I do the business side. I do all the sides and southern sides and smoked meats. And 15 pounds later, we're catering. We started,
Wow.
we kicked it off Juneteenth last year at Pitt Park. My apologies.
Were we?
Durant Park.
Durant
We
Park.
were there,
Yes.
weren't we?
Yes,
And we had pulled pork sandwiches.
I think so.
Did you have it from the left? We were on the left, and then you also have the other company was on the right.
Yeah, I think we were on the left. I
Were you
think
on the
so.
left with
Yeah,
us?
I think
so.
Yeah, it was Jabari was on the right because he also does. I'm
Yeah.
not sure if it's a smoke, but he also does specializes in barbecue,
Okay.
which is
Yeah.
delicious as well.
It was
Yeah.
barbecue, pulled pork. It was delicious.
Oh, that may have been us, and that was our first event.
Okay.
And we didn't know it was going to kick off the way it did. We're like, oh, we're going to get our licenses and permitted and start slow. We were busy all
Yeah.
summer.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah.
it's good to know that
Yeah.
because I think that is there's a huge market. It's really hard to find there's a few places, but not many
Right.
with great barbecue.
Yeah, there's we can count probably 3 or 4,
Yeah.
like in Mad Jack's
Yeah.
and where's the place on Pex Road? Old Man
Yes.
Jeff's,
Yep.
Smoky Divas.
Yeah.
But we're having a good time. We all
Yeah.
summer we were at Hot Plate, the downtown block party. We spent a month at Shakespeare
Mhm.
Wow.
because we met someone at the Juneteenth that called us, and now we were going to take a few months off because it's hard to smoke in the winter. So I was like, we're going to take a few months off, and they're calling already. We're already
Wow.
booked for a month straight in the summer.
Wow.
That's great.
So,
Yeah.
so what makes it hard to, I mean, because you have to do it outside.
Because you're outside and then
Okay.
you're maintaining the temperature. So if it's cold, then you're maintaining, it just takes a longer time to smoke the
Okay.
meats and things. So we were like, we catered Thanksgiving or like December, like let's just take December, January, February, because it's very cold. Let's just take
Mhm.
that time off and then we'll pop back up. But people have already reached out for this month. No, next month. I'm sorry, February.
That's great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you're booking for February, then you're headed for a good year.
Yeah.
We
It's gonna be a
are.
great summer.
Right. Because I was like, we'll pop up in
Yeah.
March. And they were like, we already have a few engagements. We're waiting to like officially sign the contracts, but for February.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
it was hard, probably what year would it have been? Maybe summer of 2017. We had a birthday party, a 40th birthday party for a friend. It was really hard to find a caterer that did like a barbecue. We had Mad Jack's, and they came and brought everything, but it was hard
Yes.
to find
It
at that
is.
time. Yeah.
No, my pit master in training comes, we bring the smoker,
Yeah.
everything. And it's just like a
That's
good
good to
old
know.
fashioned experience. And that's what I like is an experience.
Yeah.
It's not just food. We've met the best people. Pittsfield Farmers Market.
Mhm.
We were there all summer as well. And you just meet the best people
Yeah.
because everybody has the best conversations about the last time they've tasted barbecue or
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
a good thing.
So you come from a family here in Pittsfield,
Homegrown. Yeah.
homegrown. You moved away and come back.
Yeah.
This is a blend.
Yes.
So we often talk about sort of family dynamics and
Mhm.
everything like that. So what was it like growing up in the neighborhood here in
Oh,
Pittsfield?
My seat's making noise. I'm sorry.
That's
That's
okay.
right.
That's
It
okay.
was sweet. And I talk about what my kids, we had the best time growing up. I don't know when it stopped. I left, when did I leave? 87, 88, I left.
Mhm.
Oh my gosh. Community support. Like I always say this, people are going to get sick of me saying this. Upstreet. It's not only
Yeah.
the name of the company, but it's the name of a feeling. It's a
Mhm.
movement. If you guys remember Upstreet and what it was in its day, it brought everybody out,
Mhm.
everybody came out and supported and it was engaged.
Mhm.
And that's how I grew up. And then I went to college and left,
Mhm.
left for 30 years, had my family moved back. So it's a little, it makes you sad that the pulse of the city, North Street, Upstreet doesn't have as much going on. We're not as much engaged and
Mhm.
the neighborhoods are separated and people don't want to come outside anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's been challenging.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think having, things to come out for
Mhm.
helps,
True.
some of the festivals and things like that. But I think having more businesses that are homegrown and have individuals who are living in the community who actually own them makes a big difference. And I think that's a powerful thing. But it's interesting because when you say upstreet, I think there are a lot of people this generation that don't know what that
Yeah.
means because upstreet literally it's going up the street up the
Yeah,
hill
right.
because the west side is lower. It's it's a valley kind of situation with a
Right.
river.
Yeah.
So it's literally down the hill. So, when you say up street, that's what you're talking about going downtown.
It
So it's
is.
up
And it
street
feels so
downtown.
country or small town to say it, but it was a big thing. Where are you going? Up street. We're
Yeah.
going up street. Thursdays, any day with
Mhm.
Newberries and England Brothers
Yes.
and
We were at the tail end of that.
Yeah.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
But
It was
I loved
amazing.
it. I remember England Brothers and they had the candy counter.
Yeah.
And when you
On the
walked
first
in
floor.
and there was the little girl stirring the bowl. I loved that candy counter. And then I would it was the only store I would act up in. My mom would I would go up I would try to get up the escalator and my mom and I was naughty in that store.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I can believe that.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's kind of like how my kids were in Target, you know?
Yes, yeah. That was our Target. That was our Macy's.
Yeah, it is amazing if you look at that because there were those stores. It was said that there was these stores. I don't know which one it was, but where you could buy everything from popcorn, fresh popcorn to like a vacuum cleaner, you know,
Yeah.
like,
Yep,
and everything in
all
between.
the floors. It
Oh,
was
the
just so
floors,
fun.
right? The
Yeah.
elevator. Oh my gosh, that was
Old fashioned elevator.
right?
Like the guy would actually be in there, like,
and
yeah.
and then
That
you
was awesome.
Newberry's right next door, which
Yeah.
is the discount store, which had the counter for food, and then you could find
Yeah.
everything in there as
The
well.
best gumball machine in there. The gum was it was never stale in
Ah,
that gumball machine.
Kept it
So
fresh.
good.
see, and
Kept it
that's what
fresh.
it is. It's the memories of that. As one, so when I say up street, I'm not meaning just North Street. I mean the whole feeling that hopefully we can try to find and bring back.
Yeah.
It's, you know,
Yeah, I think people are looking for and to in every way, shape, and form.
yes.
People are looking for community, and community doesn't necessarily even just mean people in
One
a town
community,
or in
yeah.
a neighborhood, that sort of thing. People are looking to be a part of something, and it can be an online community. It can be a variety of things, but I think people are yearning to be a part of
To
something,
belong for
bigger. Yeah,
to be
yeah.
engaged
Yeah.
in something. I
more than
agree.
ever.
And I sometimes I feel overwhelmed. I'm like, okay, maybe you don't like exactly like you said, maybe you don't start outside, maybe you start virtually and create it there and build the blueprint and then try to, make it a community thing. I'm not sure, but you know what that feeling is.
Hmm.
So
Speaking of building things from scratch, Project HERlarious is your baby.
that is my baby.
And so tell me how that began. And I think in an industry that's challenging enough to be perhaps a woman in that industry, and I don't know.
Right.
I don't work in the in that industry, comedy, but I can imagine there are challenges there. So tell me about this.
Mine are usually start personal. I'm an habitual line stepper and I can't get out to a mic every night. And I can't travel as far as other people travel to get the time and you need to perfect your craft. So I thought early on, I think I started comedy in 2014, 2016. I was like, I'm gonna create, and I think it started as Funny Girl Takeover. I'm gonna start a group and bring the people to me so that I can network, get to know people. I can get some stage time, they can get some stage time, and we can work this out. We started in DC. I think I did a five-week, five-stage tour in 2016. That was Maryland, DC, I think Broadway Comedy Club in New York. And then, of course, I had to reset once I moved up here. And then I worked with Hartford Funny Bone. A good person I work with now is Amy at the Foundry. She's been beautiful.
Yeah.
I actually reached out to her during COVID. Just out of the blue, I was like, where are these theaters? I Googled them. Her theater came up. We met again. I think it was the end of COVID. Met with her, told her what I wanted to do. She welcomed me in, and I've been doing it there. I would say about twice a year. We're at the Foundry in West Stockbridge, and she's been great, as well as the Hartford Funny Bone with supporting it. Pittsfield, I used to do Jay Allen's a lot before they closed.
Yeah.
That was my spot, at least once a quarter. Now I'm looking for another Pittsfield spot as well. We're female focused. We're not female only, but of course I want my stage time, but then I want to bring comedians in, nationally touring, New England based, whoever it is.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great idea.
Well, you have Dorothy's opening up. Of
Yeah.
course, that's it's a smaller
And
venue.
I've reached out to her. She's wonderful. I've
Yeah.
reached out to her.
Well,
Yes.
do some of that there, but
Yeah.
but it's interesting that the idea of it did come back here to Pittsfield. There were a few venues doing
Yes,
it
yeah.
right after COVID, and then it seems to have we didn't have much this year.
It's a
It
little
did.
different.
Yeah.
Stand-up comedy is a little different. Charlie Nadler, he's been in the area. He's a beast. He's been in Pittsfield, North Adams, Troy, any place around the area. He's producing really great comedy, and he's invited me a
Yeah.
couple times as well. Like I'm at not just, but I'm at the Foundry, and I'm also trying to get more of my own time. So again, like I was at Mass Mocha, but Charlie Nadler, Jason Marby, they're really good committed people for comedy producers in the Berkshire County area.
And you are going to be at the Foundry on the 4th, right?
Actually, I'm going to be at the Foundry February 24th.
Oh, on February 24th. I'm
Yes,
sorry.
I had to
Okay.
think about that. February 24th is
thought it was-
Project HERlarious. Oh, I have some amazing comedians. I have one coming from Boston, Reese Cotton, and oh my gosh, hilarious guy from Hartford. I want to say Hartford, but Connecticut area named David Lozano. They really want to get that, want to watch that show. They're
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
So it's not always an all-female lineup because some people are like, you know, our female's funny, our
Right.
women's funny. So I have to fight that as well. But I you know.
No comment here, but
I have comedians that I follow. We went to a comedy show to see Bob Marley. And then I like Charlene. Sometimes I'll watch Charlene. Have you ever seen
No.
Charlene? Oh my
And
goodness.
she's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
well,
And I'm not sure where she's from actually, but she's almost like a church lady, kind of, that's kind of like her persona.
Oh, I like that.
And she is hilarious. I've been following her for probably 7 years.
Oh my gosh.
And she started real small.
Right.
Like, it was just funny things outside the church. She was like the church choir director or something. And then now it's just gotten, so she's really funny. And I will watch it and I'll send clips to my best friend.
Yeah.
Charlene. Yeah. I don't know the name of her show, but it's funny. Yeah.
and
So-
Yes.
well, I mean, there's a lot of talent that is getting exposure on TikTok.
Yes.
And there's
Yeah.
so many Instagram pages, and so people who are mid-level, I mean, they're they haven't made it big, but you can tell they have tens of thousands of followers, and
Right.
they have these really great shticks that they do, especially with some fun post editing in some cases, and there's some really entertaining people
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Yeah.
We know that. I mean,
Yep.
and just ask your kids.
Mhm.
Because I think
Exactly.
we're in a generation where we grew up watching television, and we're kind of we're in a certain framework of mind where the
Right.
kids are wide open. So entertainment to them is entertainment. So they just go on YouTube and they find hilarious
Yep.
stuff.
Right.
And there are huge stars that are coming straight from YouTube, probably have never been on network TV, never will be, but they're making incredible money
Definitely.
and millions of
Definitely.
dollars, and
Yeah.
they're stars, and
Yeah.
maybe people our age don't even know who they are. But if you
Right.
are,
Our kids talk
our
about
kids
it.
know who they
And
are.
they're all like, oh, like the beast or this, that. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Exactly.
You
But
knew,
they have
Mom.
millions of followers.
Yeah.
I opened up at Hartford Funny Bone, a lady named Pinky Patel, and she started during COVID.
Yeah.
And actually, some comedy club reached out to her based on her TikTok following and her videos and was like, we want to invite you to the club. And she said, she told me in the green room, to just come to the show, to guest spot.
Mhm.
She goes, no, to headline. She has a wonderful show. Everybody doesn't translate well
Yeah.
from videos to the stage. They're
Right.
different beasts, but there's quite a handful that do. And she was one of them that took her videos and her funny, videos and concept and transferred it to the stage beautifully. She's touring all over the place. I think everybody wears a crown. That's her
Oh,
thing.
neat.
I went to the show to open up for her. I said, when did you start? She said October. I think it was like February. It was like 4 months later.
Wow.
But she had started during COVID. And she had
a lot of
yeah.
things happened during. I feel like
Yes, a lot of great things for some
really,
people. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it was a rough time for a lot of people, but some good things came out of it.
Yes. Yes,
So-
definitely.
Well, people had their creative streaks.
Yes.
They had
And
enough time to
Yeah.
hone in on it.
they did.
Yeah.
I did my COVID project, and also actually that's when I met Cara.
Yes.
So
Some beautiful things happened during COVID. That's
So-
when I met my partner as well. Well, met my partner because I already knew him.
So now, how did that happen? Why was it? Because did COVID?
It was COVID and Facebook. It was right.
Wait
Wait a minute. It was right after COVID kicked off in March. And I think we saw each other on Facebook in April. And then we inboxed, and I had dated him when I was 16.
Oh wow.
And so immediately we started messaging back and forth. And that was it. He showed up in Pittsfield, and here he is. Yeah,
There you go.
we have upstreet smoke. Yeah.
Very similar, similar story.
Now, do you have any? So it was not easy dating during COVID.
No. He actually, that's when he did the paperwork. We did the blueprint from Upstreet Smoke. We didn't know we were doing it for Upstreet Smoke. I had owned, coincidentally, somebody had owned, I owned the building on Dewey Street
Mhm.
that Ronnie at BB Spot owns now. We sold it to Ronnie because of the, what was I going to do when my dad passed with a place?
Right.
Now I need a place, but it's weird. But he was the one working me through if we were going to reopen or sell. And so he was like, well, if we reopen, what are we going to do? Where are we going to get the fish? Where are we going to get the food? He helped me with a lot of the planning. And then it was too much during COVID to do. So we kind of gave up and sold the building. So, but that was where Upstreet kind of started. He was like, you know what? I'd like to smoke. So I think we were having a happy hour with too many drinks. And we were
All
like,
right.
yeah, it's like, I want to get a smoker. So we just ordered a smoker. It delivered like 3 days later. It was like, who ordered this? And now we have Upstreet Smoke.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because for us it was tough to be
Yeah.
able to find where do you meet? You can't, you couldn't meet anywhere. Everything
Right.
was closed.
Well, and we couldn't
Um,
really have each other over houses because I couldn't go into his place because he lived where he worked, and it was a facility they weren't letting any
Anybody
outside people in. And
I worked in
had-
healthcare. Yeah.
Yeah.
at that-
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
So it was
Yeah.
awesome.
So it was on like severe, like seriously lockdown. And then I had my kids and we didn't introduce the kids for a long time. So it was just kind of like, okay, we're going to walk around this lake and we're going to go to Northampton and then sit on a bench
Right.
and we're going to go to Lee and have dinner on a bench in Lee.
bench.
See,
Everything's on a
The
bench.
bench.
That's it.
we were horrible. He kind of,
Dating on a bench.
that's what we should have did. He just came in the house. I was like, well, now you can't leave.
Yeah. Yeah.
He stayed the whole COVID.
Yeah. No,
It's so,
it was,
no,
a-
we
it
shouldn't
was-
have done that. Precautionary tale, don't do that. But
yeah. Well, it was fun.
it was, that
It
had to be
was.
really fun and organic because then you have to know each other in different
Yeah, it was a
ways and
yeah,
arms.
completely. I remember
Yeah.
thinking, oh my gosh, on the subject of hair, I hadn't had my hair done and
Right.
Well,
right.
nobody had.
yeah,
Right.
and I'm like,
Oh,
How long was it before ladies were able to actually go into a
That was
salon?
horrible.
It was
Oh my
rough.
God. Yeah. I think I lost half the back of my hair. Trying to blow dry it and curl it myself in the house. My
Yeah.
hairdresser was like, what did you do?
Oh.
yeah.
By the
I think
time
I
we got
took a
back.
picture and posted it because my roots were like out, and I'm like, just here I am.
That was funny. I was about to say that was the thing. When you finally got out, people had inch long
Yeah.
roots. They're like, okay, who is this?
Oh my gosh.
Susan Korn Folda says, hi, Cara, John, and Erica.
Hi.
She says she loves your hair.
Thank you.
And Sherry Bethel says people were working from home. Yes, that was absolutely happening.
Yes.
And gosh, and it's interesting because I was working in a healthcare facility, so I kind of had like the normal abnormal experience where I was still working in a place, but unlike everybody else, I was working in a place. It was really kind of strange. Alba Passerini says, love this, smiley face. I'm glad.
Alba.
So yeah, but I think because of that weirdness, it did bring things that normally wouldn't happen, or maybe it happened more quickly in some ways.
Yes.
Then maybe it pushed things along as far as relationships in some cases.
When you think it's the
Yeah,
end of the
yeah.
world, you're going to make some decisions, right?
Right.
Yeah, it also broke a few up. I think divorce rates were
Right.
kind of high.
Having to be in the house with somebody that you already were questioning. Yeah, I was like,
It's true. You realize quickly when
do.
you can't go out with groups of people because that's,
Yeah.
I experienced it. When you couldn't go out and you were there, you realized, man, we have nothing in common,
Right.
So yeah, it was a big deal. And, but then, once you realize that,
I went through that with my kids.
yeah,
I was like, I want a divorce. Like, I need another house to go to every day with my kids. It was rough.
yeah, it was It definitely was. Yeah, I was very thankful at that time. I had purchased a new home,
Oh,
and so we had moved in 2019, like in December.
Right.
And then COVID hit. And I was like just very grateful to be there because we were kind of closer to things. And so, but then I was with someone else at the time, and it just didn't work. Didn't work for him, didn't work for me. It was pretty much amicable, but it did teach, you learned a lot. You learned
You
a lot.
did. You
And
did.
you had more time to really kind of think about, what do I really need in my
And
life?
to sit with yourself. A lot of people just sit with themselves,
Mhm.
be it good or bad. And
Yeah.
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 It was quite a time.
Yes.
And for as much wonderful stuff that came out of it, in some ways, we never want to go back, of course,
No.
but because I like getting together with people.
Yeah.
yes, I didn't know
It's
that.
fun
It's
going to comedy shows.
right. Going outside. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, so the 24th, the Foundry, and you said you have other shows too?
Yes. I have the Foundry. No, that is really it. I think my last show is the Foundry.
Okay.
I have another show in April, the end of April, and that's probably going to be in the Springfield area.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'll get much better with social media. Like again, comedy is about staying relevant, and I just had a battle with social media lately. I'm like, I just don't want to be on there all the time anymore.
Yeah.
But you have to be to be relevant and let people know where you are. So
Mhm.
I like today I got on
Yeah.
and let people know I was on the podcast, and I'll do it for the Foundry, but I'm definitely not on as much as I should be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you just need that break.
You do.
You do.
You do. It can be exhausting
It can.
sometimes.
Yeah.
And the more I add on to the plate, then the more exhausting it gets because it was comedy and I'm enjoying my friends. And now it's the upstreet smoke. And I'm like, okay, I don't want to be on all day.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Kimberly Ann says the whole COVID thing has my anxiety on high. This year, it seems like we're getting every virus out there. This stupid cough seems to be lasting a long time. A lot of coughs out there.
Yes.
Yes.
People have had like 4-month-long coughs.
It's a strange cough. Yeah. I was a little concerned when I had it. I was like, I never sounded like this before. I have asthma, so when I get a cold, the average person might cough, but my cough lasts longer, and I have to use an inhaler. It makes the cough go away faster, but this cough was just like the weirdest thing I think I've ever had. It
Mhm.
didn't hurt or anything, but it just wouldn't go away.
Mm.
You
I've
know?
heard that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've heard that.
So, and Berkshire Medical Center actually just
They lifted
the mask ban,
mandate.
so they're apparently in a better spot as far as whatever's going
Yeah,
around.
well, they said that the respiratory illnesses are not as prevalent as they were, so they lifted the mask mandate for now.
Okay.
So that's a good sign.
That is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
That's a good sign.
Yeah. So,
And days are getting longer.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like the sun is
Yes,
shining a
I
little.
need that. I'm telling you, I go in if it's dark at 4, I go to bed at 5.
Yeah.
So I'm so
Yeah.
glad that now we have longer days. I can go back outside.
Now we're right in the thick of it. We have our 5 kids
Mhm.
in total. You're kind of at a different spot as being a mother,
Yes.
and in that whole journey for you. But but tell me about what it's like in your family and being able to still achieve everything you want to achieve, and in a lot of ways they probably help you out.
It is. No, it's balancing. And with my partner now, I have 4. He has 2 daughters and then 2 grandsons. And we just had a sleepover this weekend.
Wow.
So it's constant balance.
Now that's a true blend.
Yeah, his grandson came over with my youngest daughter. They're a couple years apart. I didn't stay the whole night. He stayed the whole night. He was whoever falls asleep got water poured on them and toothpaste put on them and things like that. And I was just like, just don't get it on the couch. I fed them, make sure everybody was okay, and then I went to bed. So we have a balance.
Yeah. And everybody gets along okay.
Not always. And that's why we have comedy and wine. Like I have a show. I'll see you guys in a day. And this nice glass of wine.
Yeah.
No, we always don't get along, but you have to. At the end of the end game is we have to get along, we have to live together. And if you can't get along with each other, you can't get along with anybody else.
It's so
So,
true.
you know.
I have to remind my my two kids because my daughter and my son bicker a lot. And you know, my daughter's much more easygoing. My son is extremely hyperactive.
Yeah.
And so he will do things and it irritates her so bad, and she's not always nice to him. And so last night they went skiing, and I don't know what happened while they were skiing, but they both came home laughing with each other. And my son was upstairs, and my daughter had taken a shower, she straightened her hair, and my son had to go in and brush his teeth, and I could hear him, "I love you, Sophia. I love you, Sophia." And I looked at John and I was like, oh my gosh, I hope she's saying it back.
Right. Yes.
You know,
is
like,
hope everybody's
So finally,
Oh,
I
yeah.
could hear her saying, "Love you too, Rick." She loves him, but
That's
it's
hilarious.
just, you know, but it was really cute because typically they bicker, and my son would do anything for his sister,
Yes. Yeah.
and she is just really stubborn. But
Yeah.
last night was really a sweet moment. We were sitting at the table. I had made stew or pot roast.
Yeah.
And we had our glass of wine, we had the pot roast, the kids ate and left, and I could hear them upstairs. I was like, ah, but that was so cute.
Moment. No, the only time not the only time, but when they get along, it's because they're plotting against me. Like I can hear them. I'm upstairs taking a shower. They're like, we're going to tell her how this house runs. And then I have to remind them, like, some of you can go. Like I can take the younger one. And I've even thought about buying another house just for the youngest. Like, because I have older kids, you know. So I'm like, I'm just going to look for another home,
Yeah.
a 2-bedroom somewhere, and I'll visit
Yes.
you guys.
Sometimes it gets that way, especially when you have the house clean. And
We have
then-
never gotten to that.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't even know what that's like.
and then it's
Sorry.
just-
What is this
What
clean?
clean
yeah,
thing?
I
I'm
get the
sorry.
laundry done. The laundry's done.
Wait, no, seriously, Cara.
Oh my
I don't know what you're talking about. What is this clean? What is this clean that you're referring to?
Sometimes I
Well-
get fed up and throw everything out.
Yeah.
And that's when we get
Oh
clean.
my gosh.
I
Well,
have to threaten. Like I'm throwing everything out
Yeah.
today. Get your mail, get your
Yeah.
socks, get everything.
yeah.
And then they're like, well, what about your stuff? Don't worry. Don't worry about my stuff, everything.
Yeah, I look at our couch sometimes because I'll get the laundry done. And so there's
Yeah.
2 couches in the room where we fold the clothes, and we have separate piles for all, all
Yes.
the kids and everything. And it's clear for about maybe 24 hours,
Right.
and then it's right back.
But
Mhm.
you talked about pot roast.
Yeah.
That's probably the greatest invention
Yes.
of all time,
Yes.
because well, I mean, I'm not saying it's easy, but you chop everything up and you throw it in.
Yeah.
Like we should sell that thing. I mean, what?
That's, you do it in the crock pot.
Yeah. Well, I do
Well,
say
Oh my gosh.
it's like a Instapot, but it's Pampered Chef makes it.
Okay.
And I got it because I hosted a party, and it was like I got it for a lot cheaper than it actually was, but
Yeah.
it's amazing. It's like a pressure cooker
Yeah.
type of thing. And
Mhm.
so I make all kinds of stuff in there in the winter. I don't really use it in the summer, but in the winter.
Well, you can't really screw it up, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you can leave it in there.
Yeah.
It's not gonna, things aren't
Right.
gonna
And
get
you have
overcooked
leftovers. I don't love leftovers, but sometimes if I make chili in there or the pot roast I had for lunch today, sometimes it works out.
Right.
Because we're feeding a lot of kids, there's 7 of us sometimes.
Yeah.
And so it does come in handy.
So Kimberly Ann says, we were talking about the cough. My voice is not the same. LOL. I feel like a cartoon character.
Yeah.
6-year-old was put on an inhaler
Aw.
for her cough. So we hope she gets better or is feeling okay. Naya Schrader says, "Hi, Mom." Of course, I tune in when she's talking about us.
Don't I always talk about that?
Her ears were ringing.
Yeah.
I'm
Her
sure.
ears were ringing.
They'll get me when I get home.
Love it. And so a lot of and actually our kiddos right now are at Bosque, 2 of them anyway.
Right. We pick them up when we leave here. My daughter and my son are skiing
Nice.
Yeah, Sophia teaches lessons at Basque, and then my son will go up there. He's got a couple good friends from that
Hang out. Oh,
they grew up
nice.
with. They grew up together, so they're skiing, and we'll go pick them up after. And yeah,
That's the one great thing about Bosque Mountain and all the kids ski is that it's really this awesome opportunity for them to go kind of be on their own, even though they're not alone. I mean,
Right.
there's this great sense
it's
of
safe.
independence. So we imagine an 8-year-old,
Yeah.
8-year-old going up on that mountain
Mountain.
and coming
Right.
down
Mhm.
and kind of having this sense of like, hey, I'm doing my thing. It's
Even
really,
though we're
really
there,
amazing.
but we're
there.
You know,
But we're sitting at the bar and
Yeah.
looking out the window. Maybe we see them, come down.
Making notes.
But
To get time away from your kids.
that would actually that would be a great place for you to do a show.
Yeah.
Have you been there?
I have been there.
The
I'll think about that.
upstairs. It's different now.
Okay.
It's called the.
Oh my gosh.
the lift.
No, it's not the
No,
lift.
they-
anymore.
Oh, that's the
What's
old
on
one.
the left.
The drifter.
Drifter.
The drifter.
The Drifter.
Yeah.
And yeah, they have it set up differently in there.
I have not been since it's been the drifter, but
Yeah.
my girlfriend just
Yeah.
sent that to me today.
Yeah,
have to take a
it's
look.
very cozy now. I mean, it was beautiful before,
Yeah.
but now, and they have a section where they have a couple times we were there, they had some live entertainment, and there's plenty of room, and the acoustics seem really good in there.
They're fantastic.
Yeah.
So,
Mhm.
and at Bosque, you don't go live. You go super live. That's the thing there. So when you Bosque is a great location. Deb Sadawi says, Cara, if you still have a cough, use the glutathione patch right on your throat. I don't know if I said that
I've
correctly.
been hearing that about that patch, Deb, and I'm gonna look into that. I got
Which patch is that? Is that the patch we have or no?
No,
That's
we
a
have
different
the
patch.
energy, we have the
Okay.
X39, and we have the energy, and we have Ice Wave. I'm wearing the Ice Wave on my back right now, and it's been awesome all day.
Mm.
Yeah.
So yeah, we use Life Wave patches. It's
Okay.
light therapy. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah. So Deb was just
The copper peptide patches.
Yes.
And they're all over TikTok. I'm
Oh.
surprised you haven't seen any.
No, I'm down the hole with food. I'm deep down
Oh,
the rabbit
yeah.
hole.
Who's that woman?
Oh my
there's this
have
great,
you ever seen
there's this great.
she's I think she didn't intend for it to happen, but she has become like she's gone viral.
So just go on to TikTok and probably put in her opening line to every TikTok is everyone's so creative.
Have you seen that?
And so
Oh.
she basically
Oh, it's just satirical though.
it's
Yeah.
Oh yes, I see.
Oh no, yes.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
so funny.
That would be right up your alley.
Yes, I've seen that.
Everyone's so creative.
And she's like,
She sees
it
people-
won't it won't
If you put enough cheese in there, everything's gonna be okay.
And she said something, it'll slide down easy if it's cheesy. Or something like that. It's so funny.
I've seen her. Yeah.
But I don't think she did it one night, she said, is just like
Right. It's
being
accidental.
funny because she saw someone making this
I'm
thing.
destroying a menu,
Yeah.
a recipe, right?
Yeah.
And these like ridiculous, usually they're these housewives or something that are doing something that are supposed, it's probably supposed to be really cool and interesting.
Right.
But it's
Like
act-
putting
but-
meat in a champagne glass. It's funny.
And just a lot of cheese,
Yeah.
and a lot
Tons
of
of cheese,
recipes.
yeah.
But she's
I've seen her. I have
she-
seen her.
She is very good, very funny. And Deb said she'll get you one of those patches. By the
Oh,
way.
okay. Yeah. I'd
Cara.
love to try it.
Deb, you didn't say anything about Cara's hair. We got to get a comment
Yeah.
on that. Oh wait,
It's
you have some-
different, but it's me. This is what I look like under all the
is that your
fun.
rear your
Yes.
actual
It
hair
is.
color?
It is
Okay.
my actual hair color.
So it's not like a situation where it's darker or
No,
it's
and
actually
no,
darker.
I just have a few of the highlights that she left in just because I didn't want to be just one color. I like
Okay.
having the
It's nice. I like it.
Yeah.
I do like it.
Yes.
yeah.
And once again, of course, the question is, does it look like that? Does it look like the AI right there? Does anybody recognize that AI? Who is that person? Who is that person?
Yeah.
Look exactly the same.
And the
exactly.
funny thing is AI will even when my hair was blonde,
Mhm.
when I went and I played around with a filter in Snapchat or the AI, it made me a brunette every time.
See.
And I am a brunette.
Right.
So it's kind of funny that it picked up on that.
The AI filter.
The AI filter
The-
always makes me a brunette,
brunette.
even when my hair was
Oh,
blonde.
that's interesting.
Right. It
Yeah.
knows.
Yeah.
It knows. It's playing in a couple dimensions above where we are.
AI is so
The AI
dangerous.
TikTok
It's
AI.
so dangerous.
Yeah, if it turns against us, we're screwed.
We are. We're
Yeah.
playing now, but I think it's playing with us.
Yeah.
I seriously do.
I think so. I think so. Well, on that note. So Eryca Nolan, we love you one more time on your next show. It's the 24th at the Foundry.
February 24th.
Are there tickets available still, or?
Yes, they're still available online at the Foundry. The Foundry, I think it's called the FoundryWS.com, but basically it's the Foundry in West Stockbridge. I'll be posting it on my page as well and Instagram, and Amy, like I said, she's just wonderful.
And
Not just for my show. You guys really need to get down to that
Yes.
venue. It is.
Now,
It's
the
really great.
Foundry is where exactly?
It's in West Stockbridge it's on Harris Street, but it's basically, I don't even take the highway. I take, what is it, Barker Road
Yeah.
all the way down. And
Yeah.
so you just fall into West Stockbridge basically.
Right.
Okay.
And then it's right there.
Oh my gosh.
It's a
okay.
beautiful black
So you
box
just take
theater.
Swamp Road right down.
All the way down until you hit West Stockbridge.
Now, is it like on Main Street or is it down the side road?
It's down the side road. There's Main Street, and then I think they used to have a walkway, but now it's at least have a car, but now it's a walkway. You can walk over.
Yes.
But you just take a right and then a left, and then there's a Foundry and maybe another building there.
Okay.
But
Like near the coffee shop? Is the coffee shop still there?
is that on Main Street?
I think it's the next.
It's probably within that block then.
Okay. So
it's,
is it where the old Shaker Mill Tavern was?
See, I'm not sure.
I think
because I've been missing for about
I'm
30
gonna look.
years.
I think so. Shaker Mill Tavern was the big building, and then it became something else. But we would go to the Shaker. But I wonder if that's the Foundry.
I wonder if it is.
Yeah, I'll
It's-
have to
oh,
look
it's
it up.
beautiful.
Yeah.
I'll have to look
Black
that up.
Box Theater. It's just, she has all types of entertainment from the city, and
You got Kansas City and San Francisco. Who you got in the Super Bowl?
I have nobody. I don't watch the Super Bowl. I only go for the food, for the tailgating.
Yeah.
Like if you need some chicken and some ribs, I got you. But I'll go. But no, I have no idea. I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie.
All right. Well, everybody. Well, the NFL wants Kansas City because they want Taylor Swift.
They
to
want the
have,
Swifties.
have the confetti,
Yeah.
and then there's
Yeah.
others around the world. So this should be interesting. This should
Yeah.
be
And
interesting.
I watch.
This is the Swifty Super Bowl.
It is the Swifties.
It really is.
It's totally
It
taken
is.
over.
Yeah. But I wonder who halftime will be. I enjoyed halftime a couple years ago.
I do too.
Yeah.
I watch it for the halftime.
Is it Usher? I think or
Okay.
something like that. I
Is it
think.
Usher? See, I don't even know.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, the whole thing is that she is performing in Japan or something like that, somewhere
For the Super Bowl.
far away,
Thank goodness.
and then the
I shouldn't
question-
say that.
the
I don't want the
question
Swifties
is-
coming
Yeah.
after me.
will she be able to make it back to the Super Bowl in time
Make
for
an
the game?
appearance.
Yeah.
And to be there for the game. So I can't remember if it's Japan where she is
really?
or yeah. So
But they love her.
Yeah.
yeah. Well,
They love her.
hey,
Yeah.
Cara goes to
I-
the concert.
I do. Well, my daughter is
Yeah.
a Swiftie. She loves
I
it,
get
which
it.
I'm shocked because my daughter's not a real like girly girl.
Right.
But I
That's it.
think like we were talking on the last podcast, it's more nostalgia because
It is.
the songs kind of bring her. I would listen to them, and so
I
But-
get it. I do.
Yeah.
I get it. And she does have some good
Yeah.
catchy songs. So
mhm.
Renee
Yeah.
Smith says, "Great show. E, love seeing you in your element." And yes, Usher. She
is that Usher?
is the halftime show.
That'd be fun.
So there you have it.
Yeah,
There you
Thanks,
have it.
Renee.
Now we got it all
Yeah.
down.
She gave us the lowdown.
Awesome stuff. Well, it was great seeing you, Eryca.
It was great.
And
Spending time with
And I
you
can't
guys.
wait to go down there and see you.
Please,
Yeah.
yes.
I had
See
no
the
idea.
Foundry.
I love West Stockbridge. So
we're going to see you doing some barbecue.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait.
And this, I guarantee you, we're going to be at a few events
Yeah.
that will be catered.
Yeah.
Right.
And we
Thank
actually
you.
calling you too because my
Yeah.
daughter is turning 16 in
My
October.
daughter
In
turns 16
October,
in a couple days.
so I'm gonna be having a surprise. She doesn't really see this, but I'll probably have.
Okay. Oh, I was about to
Yeah.
say she said surprise.
Yeah. But I would. She loves barbecue,
Oh, okay.
so we will
All right.
be in touch.
So
We should.
everybody, keep it a secret.
Yeah.
All right. Don't tell Sophia.
Sweet 16.
We're doing barbecue for her 16th birthday in October. So got to keep that.
That's a
gotta
good
keep
month. That was
Yeah.
right before it gets too cold.
Yeah. Early October.
No, that's
October
good.
10th is her birthday. So
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, everyone have a great night and awesome to see you again, Erica.
Yes.
And we love you.
Thanks
all.
for having me. I had a good time, you guys.